Alright guys, in this video we're going to look at inline level elements and block level elements. Now certain tags or HTML elements are block, some are inline. Now this is a page from W3 Schools, which is a great reference site, and it shows us which elements are block and which are inline. So all of these tags right here are block level. So we have paragraph, form, all the H tags, the heading tags, these header section, all this stuff. These are our HTML5 semantic tags, nav, main. I'm going to talk about those in a little bit. Those are very important. But for now, let's look at the ones that we know, like paragraph, ordered list, unordered list, list item. All of these are block level. And then for inline, we have A tags, which are links. We have, let's see, button. We have span. Oh, we didn't talk about spans yet. Select. What else here have we looked at? And these bold and italics, we're not going to be using those anymore. Emphasis, strong, text area. These are inline. Now the difference here is that a block level element will span 100% width of the page. Okay, so it basically goes across the whole page, and then the next thing that you put on the page is going to be on the next line because it knocks it down to the next line. An inline element does not span across the page. It only takes up that space. Therefore, the next thing you put is going to go to the right of it. It's just going to go right after it. So let me give you some examples. Okay, so let's create a file here. I'll call it 08 underscore block underscore inline.html, and we'll go ahead and put our structure in here. Let's say inline verse block, and inside the body here, let's go ahead and put a paragraph, which is a block level element, and I'll say lorem. Let's do lorem 30 tab or enter. And we'll save that. Let's go ahead and open this with live server. Okay, so this is a block level element. If I put another paragraph underneath it, right? Let's say lorem 20 tab. Notice how it gets pushed on to the next line. Paragraphs actually have styling by default. See the space here? They actually have default margin, which we'll talk about when we get to the CSS. But since it's block level, it goes across the whole page and pushes the next one onto the next line. Now, a link, an A tag, is an inline element. So let's go ahead and let's put a link, not within a paragraph, but just a link itself. And if we put a number sign, that just means it goes to the current page you're on. It doesn't go anywhere. And in here, let's just say a link. And if I save it, this is an inline element, which means if we add another link, let's copy this down, and I save, notice that it goes next to it. It doesn't get pushed on to the next line because it doesn't span all the way across. Okay, so that's the difference here. Now I'm going to add a style attribute because I want to put a border around all of these just so you can see kind of the outline of them. And again, I don't suggest using style tags. You want to use CSS, but we haven't gotten to that yet. I'm just showing you this for an example, and you'll learn all about borders and stuff later on. But I'm just going to say border green solid, and we'll do the same with the next one. So I'll just copy this, and let's save that, and you can see that it goes all the way across. Now let's add a red border to the link. So I'm just going to change this to red and save, and you can see that it doesn't go all the way across. Now you might be saying, well, these paragraphs are, they're long, they reach all the way across the page, but this doesn't, the end doesn't. If it were inline, the next one would start right here. So even if I just had a one-word paragraph and I save, it goes all the way across. Okay, so that's the difference, and it's very important to understand that. So another block level element is an unordered list as well as list items. So when I put a list item in here and another one, it knocks it down to the next line because it's a block level element. And you can change you can change it from inline to block or vice versa using CSS, and we're going to get into that later. But I just want you to understand the difference between inline and block. And then those, not span, I want to do a strong. The typography semantic tags like strong and strong and emphasis, those are also obviously inline, because you can see we can make this strong, but it doesn't knock it down to the next line. So these are inline. And you also have something called inline block, which I'll talk about when we get to CSS, because it doesn't really pertain to just HTML. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, guys. I just wanted to clear that up before we move on. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit about divs with IDs and classes.